What is going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is my review of the new horror film Halloween 2018. Kind of sucks that we have three movies now named Halloween. We have Halloween from 1978, my all-time favorite horror film. We have Rob Zombie's Halloween, choking because that's how bad the movie is. And we have now this film, Halloween 2018. And this movie is directed by David Gordon Green, also executive produced by Danny McBride. This film stars Jamie Lee Curtis, who is back as Laurie Strode, and also, a side note, Judy Greer is in this film, which is really cool because I really like Judy Greer. Now, this movie picks up 40 years after the babysitter killings that happened in 1978 on Halloween night. Michael Myers has been at Smiths Grove Hospital for 40 years, locked up. And Laurie Strode, in those 40 years, has been preparing for when Michael Myers comes back. She's pretty much Sarah Connor in the fact that she is ready for Michael to escape, and she's hoping Michael can escape so that way she can kill him. And now, of course, Michael escapes. No surprise here. You can watch the trailer. This movie, wow. That's all I want. That's what I want to say to start off this review. Just wow. Let me start off with the things that I really like about this film. I love the nods to the original that harken back like you're watching the 1978 Halloween film. There's quite a few of them in this movie. And the good thing is I felt like they didn't really take away the story. They kind of added to the whole hindrance of kind of what is going on within this new chapter of Halloween. And I really like those nods because I don't know, it looked great, and it made you feel like you're watching a Halloween film. And that's another thing I want to get into. Another thing I like about this film is the atmosphere. David Gordon Green really captures the atmosphere of what Halloween as a franchise is. And I love the atmosphere to this film. I know some people might not like it, but I loved it, and I loved the tone of this film and how it starts off by being very patient, like the original. This movie is not as patient as the original. But the first 15-20 minutes of this film is just very slow, and I like that. And then all of a sudden, after those 15-20 minutes, this movie just starts picking up. And it gets to the point where this movie is so gripping and it gets so intense because you don't know what's going to happen next. All you know is Michael Myers is just going to kill. He's a killing machine in this film. I really like that. I love the portrayal of Michael Myers in this film. I think they took what we saw from Michael Myers from 1978 Halloween and they just added onto it. They implemented it a little bit more. There are some nitpicky things that I have problems with about Michael's character in this film, but I feel like there are those things that kind of bring you back and draw you back in to who Michael Myers is as a character, that he's pure evil, and I like that they just elevate that to the next level. So that was awesome. The score in this film is also really great. You have John Carpenter, who worked along the scenes with his son, Cody, and they did a really great job. The score's a little bit different, but I love the callbacks to the 1978 Halloween because this is the type of movie that I've wanted to see for a long time. This is the type of Halloween movie that we have deserved as fans. This movie will truly make you happy if you want to go into this film watching a new Halloween film. Now, I also really like Laurie Strode. That's another thing I want to talk about. Laurie Strode's character in this film has a fantastic arc, and she has, like I said, she's pretty much like Sarah Connor in the fact that she knows Michael's going to come back and nobody believes her. They think she's absolutely crazy and out of her mind. But I really like her arc, and I like to see that she's been struggling over these 40 years because of what happened to her in 1978. That these traumatic events have changed her throughout the course of the rest of her life. Her relationship with her daughter and her granddaughter are very, very limited, especially with her daughter. And I think Judy Greer does a great job of relishing that relationship between Laurie Strode and Karen Strode. Those are some things that I really like about this film. There are quite a few things I like about this film. I like the way the movie ends. I like certain things, but I kind of want to save a lot of this stuff for the spoiler review because there are quite a bit of spoilers. It's not like super spoiler filled, but there are quite a few spoilers. Now, I want to talk about some of the things that I didn't necessarily like. And again, this is a really good film. I really enjoy this film. I don't know if I'd have to say it's my favorite Halloween sequel, but it's definitely one of the better Halloween sequels. One thing I didn't like was the high school element in this film. The teenagers. I don't give a crap about the teenagers in this film. This film should be focused around Laurie and Michael, and it is for the most part, but there are some parts that really just, they kind of drag on too much about the high school dance or things that are happening, in this high school. And it's just, to me, that's not why I wanted to watch this film. I wanted to watch Laurie and Michael hand in hand. And you do get that, but there's some of those things in the middle that, to me, I'm just like, man, why are we focused on this? Let's go back to Laurie. Let's go back to what is happening, with Michael. And instead of, focusing in on these teenagers that don't really matter, in my opinion. So that's one thing. Another thing, there's a scene in this film. This is a huge spoiler. I'm not going to give this away. In the beginning of the third act, and I remember Chris Stuckman's review, he also said this, and, to me as well, I know exactly what he's talking about. This scene threw me off. It's in the beginning of the third act. You cannot miss this scene. I can't really get into too much of what happens because it's spoiler territory, but all I'll say is a character makes a certain decision in this film, and you're like, what the heck was that? What the frick was that? And I couldn't believe that was the direction that they went with in this film. I can't believe it. I'm still flabbergasted at the fact that I had witnessed that on screen. Yeah, if you're going into, if this is your first Halloween film, it's probably not going to be super... You know what? I'm not going to say anything because I don't want to get into too much spoiler territory. That is for my spoiler review where I will be talking about the scene in full detail. So make sure you watch the movie and then watch my spoiler review, which I'll be posting on Monday. So I didn't like that scene. I didn't like that choice. I'd have to go back and watch it again, and maybe my mind would be changed. But first time viewing, I don't know. It was so out of left field for me. Like, you had no idea that was going to happen. It's crazy. But all in all, this is a very enjoyable film. I love the nostalgic factors that they bring into this movie, but also that they make this movie fresh and that they make it their own thing, and they take the next step to Michael's character and Laurie's character in this film, and you get to see Michael kill some people. It's fun, it's great. This is why I love slasher films so much, and I'm just so happy that we got a slasher film that is it's a really good sequel. Even though there are things that I don't like about it, all film is subjective. You might love certain things that I don't like, and that's fine. All film is subjective, but there were some things that I didn't like. The film's not perfect. And also, one last thing I will say this is David Gordon Green has directed nothing but comedies before this, and it really does show. There are scenes, there's too much comedic tones and elements in this film that kind of just throw things off, where the jokes fell a little flat for me, or I just kind of felt like they were scenes that were not necessarily needed in the final cut of this film. But anyway, I'll get more into this in my spoiler review again. Go out and see this movie. This movie deserves your money at the box office. It is a really fun time, and I am really excited to be able to watch this movie again. I'll say that. I cannot wait to watch this movie again. But anyway, guys, that is my review. What do you guys think about Halloween? Below, post your comments. Guys, make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Also, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to this channel for more content. I will be posting my spoiler review on Monday, so stay tuned for that. There are a lot of things to talk about. So anyway, guys, I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.